All right, guys, it's time to talk about OurGlass. And this project is pretty fun to be a little part of. It's a very risky platform, but it's also kind of fun to look into. Now, this was a project launched by Trevin James, and I know not everyone likes him, so I understand if you don't want to get into it because of that, but you might be missing out on a token that over the next few years could become really good because it's got a really interesting new idea when it comes to a staking token and a reflect token. So let's talk a little bit about our glass if you don't know about it. So as you can see, I have a tiny little stack. I don't have very much, but with this new platform coming out, I'm going to be watching the price and maybe be trying to get a little bit more of this token. I'm also going to play around a little bit in the next few weeks with the ultra staking platform, so I can talk a little bit about more in the future. So the basic idea of this token when it was launched was that it was a reflect token. So it was a fork of SafeMoon, but it was built in with a little bit of a different kind of model where all the tokens were out there. All of them were released, so it was a fair release, fair sale. Anybody could get as much as they wanted when it first came out. And they also gave 50,000 tokens or 50 trillion tokens of the supply to a burn address. So in the reflect model of this token, 5% gets redistributed to the holders of the token, and the burn address is part of those holders. So a certain amount of that 5% is burned with every single transaction, and 5% is used to go ahead and add liquidity into the BNB pair for the token. So it's got the rising price floor idea that was really introduced with SafeMoon and some of the other projects. It's also got a burn mechanism to go ahead and lower the supply of this really high supply token, and then now it's got an ultra staking game to try to keep people moving the token around, because most of the reflect tokens, they really die when people get them in their wallet and they just hold them forever, because then we're not getting that automatic yield that they talk about in the reflect token idea. And then without that automatic yield coming into your wallet, you just kind of get bored of holding this token that you thought would be growing, but it's not growing, and so you end up dumping it. Everyone ends up dumping it. The token dies a very sad death. But this token has tried to figure out a way to create a game where people actually need to move the tokens, and they have to move the tokens. And it's a pretty smart idea by them. And I do think that this has a chance to become a reflect token that will continue to get moved and used, and that'll create a scarcity to the token and a good regular yield for holding the token, and maybe even a better yield for people who get in and build up this ultra staking platform. So first, if we go over the tokenomics of the token a little bit, so you can see that they currently have a market cap of only about 3 million. So this market cap is still very low. They did initially mint this many tokens. This is trillion, so it's a quadrillion tokens, I believe. I hope I said the right number. If not, sorry about that. They've currently burned 67 trillion of the token, so there's currently 932 trillion token left in the circulating supply. Now, again, this is all out there in the marketplace. They didn't hold any back. So this number is just going to get smaller. Hopefully this number is just going to get bigger, but we'll have to see how that goes. You can see how much of the money has been locked into the ultra staking is currently a little over $1 million. So that's a little bit, about a little bit less than a third of the supply. Really close to a third of the supply has been locked into the staking pool, and there is a good amount of the supply that is automatically locked into the liquidity pool by the 5% that gets sent there. And so those two contracts are going to be holding a bulk amount of this token. So there's going to be less and less and less on the marketplace for people even to buy. And why would people have to keep buying the token? Well, that's where we'll have to go ahead and get into the ultra staking game and how it works. But first, let's take a look at the chart. So as you can see, the token was, just kind of heading down like a lot of tokens have in the last few weeks. But then it had a big run up. When the ultra staking came out, it reached kind of a high point. Then we had a sell-off. There had to have been some people who were waiting for it to come up to get out of it, and now we've ran back up to where we had that last sell-off. We'll have to see if this ends up being a double top and we head back down, or if we can break this level here this time and turn this into an area of support and head back up. Now, this is the 4-hour chart of the token, so you can see what's happened recently. The ultra staking is overall a newer feature, but the token is down since it's all-time highs. So I'll go ahead and go to the 12-hour chart to show you this. It did peak out up here and is down quite a bit from this top to way over here. Now, I can't for sure know how long it'll take us to see these levels again, but this was kind of when crypto was going wild and things were really good and everything was worth a ton of money. Now we're kind of in a situation where we're in what some people think is a mini bear market. Other people are calling a bear trap. And I know we did have a big bounce for a few tokens today, so things are looking a lot better, but we'll have to see where this goes in the future. Now we're going to go ahead and get into a few things. Now, one thing, if you look at their site here, you will notice now they do have an exchange tab, a liquidity tab to help you get in and start adding liquidity and do things with your tokens. And then they have the charts, the CoinMarketCap listing, the CoinGecko listing, their audit, and they also have their link to the Ultra Staking. This was just a quick look at their exchange. It works like the regular exchanges, but it just starts off by adding you into the Glass token if you need to go ahead and pick this one up because you want to get into this at all. Now, looking at the Ultra Staking platform. Now, to get into this, you have to go ahead and put at least 3 billion tokens in to enter it for any lottery. And so at the current price, that's around $10 a day to get in. At $365 per billion, having to put in at least a little bit more than $10 actually. It's almost $11. 3 billion tokens, and then you are entered into the lottery. So how does the lottery end up working? So they take all the people who have deposited funds in any 24-hour period of time, and they pick 2 winners that'll each get 5% of the current lottery pool. So this is the current amount of the pool. They give out 10% of it rewarded every single day, and then they drip some of it to everyone that's ever done a deposit. So the kind of idea is you can buy a lottery ticket for one day, and then for the rest of your life, you'll be getting money back on that deposited money that'll be getting sent to your wallet in a drip from the pool. Now the pool drips out 2% of its rewards per day to people, but you do have to come and claim those rewards. If you don't claim them every single day, then they get resent back into the pool. So you do have to make sure that you're active and paying attention. This is where they're going to build up that thing where everyone's going to be coming, they're going to be here, they're going to be claiming their tokens, they're going to be having different kinds of things. So you're going to have to make sure that you're active and paying attention to the Ultra Staking pool, and that you're claiming every single day, and that you're doing those things, because basically you're going to be incentivized to claim at the very last minute, because your rewards are going to tick up, and then you're going to have to want to claim at the very end. But if you don't claim at the very end, then they reset and you lose them. So there is a bit of a gamification to this, and making sure that you go ahead and claim your tokens at the right time when it comes to the ones that are getting dripped to you. Now, if you win the lotto, you also have to come and claim those. So you have to be paying attention every single day to make sure that you go ahead and get your tokens claimed. Otherwise, they would go back into the pool. Now, as you can see, they've given out a pretty good amount of rewards. There's only 760 people playing. And how they pick the 2 winners, one is random, one is the largest depositor. And I will link you to this guide here. This is their Ultra Staking guide. You're going to want to read through this and understand everything about it. I'm not going to go over it all today because there's just too much in here to really read you. That would be a little bit boring. But I am going to show you making a deposit, and then we should start to see the rewards kind of click in very, very shortly. So right here is a brief description of how it works. So depositors earn glass from a 2% pool drip. Other users deposits and daily rewards. So there is a largest winner for the largest depositor of a day, and there's one random winner for the winner of the day. Now there are some rules on the largest depositor to win this one. You have to have not earned more than you have deposited. So that is just to protect them from anybody who's like maybe trying to game the system to win this largest depositor, waiting till they've earned up a whole bunch back and then doing a big deposit, but they're still at a net positive. Well, then you can't win that one. Your deposit isn't included, but you'd still be eligible for the random winner. Anybody can be the random winner except for whoever does win the largest winner pool. So any unclaimed rewards are sent back to the prize pool. Like I said, you do have to go ahead and claim your rewards. at the end of the day for the future rewards. So they do have this timer. As you can see, it's counting down. We're at 24 hours and 3 minutes. Ideally, to earn the most money back on your 2% drip, you want to go ahead and deposit it early in the day, and then you want to come here near the end of the day and do a claim. So I'm going to want to come back theoretically 22 hours later from today and do the claim, but I'm going to be trying to probably claim mine a little bit earlier so I don't mess up and forget. When you come here, you're going to have to do a quick contract approval, and then you can go ahead and do a deposit. They do see here you have to deposit at least 3 billion glass to get into the token, to get into the contest. So I have to do 3. I'm going to do 3.5. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. So that would be 1,000. This would be the 350 million. So one more 0 is 3.5 billion tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm. Now remember, you never get these tokens back. It's not like a staking thing where you go ahead and get them back. You are buying a lottery ticket for the day and then buying staking power to get money back from the pool every single day going forward in the future. In theory, eventually I will get this many tokens back to me from the staking pool, but how long that takes depends on how many people are going to be returning tokens to the pool. Now, as you can see, since I got into the pool, I am sitting here now with some rewards that I can collect. These rewards are going to tick up and they are going to keep going up, as you can see, and eventually I'm going to be able to get a cash back on the first day based on my tokens that I put in, some of them being redistributed back to me, and everybody else that gets into the lotto. Now, it does show here what I deposited, and then it will eventually show me how much I could possibly win if I ever were to get a win. And then there is a automatic amount that is distributed out to everybody that is put into here when there's a winner, so that you do get some tokens back automatically. And this is the right down here when it says distribution, they give 90% of what's put in to the, so 90% of deposits are put into the pool, 8% are automatically redistributed back out to users, and 2% go to the dev. So that's what happened with the tokens that I just put in. There is a 3% referral fee, to where if you click on my referral link in my description on my video, then you go ahead and only put 87% of your money into the prize pool, and 3% goes to me, and that would go for anybody that clicks on anybody's referral link. So just know that sometimes you might see a slight variation in how much money gets put into the pool compared to how much money you can win. Now, as you can see, I put in 3.5. I put a little bit more than I needed to. Maybe in the future I'll just be putting in the normal minimum amount. Now, like I said, you do have to continue to play in the tournament, or you can lose your ability to get the staking. So this is really designed to make you have to keep using your Reflect token, keep using it, keep using it, and keep using it. You don't have to play in every single lotto, but you have to come back to the site every single day to collect your drip rewards. And then you also have to go ahead and come back and play again within 30 days. Otherwise they cut you off, because the idea here isn't for you to just join this and play at one time. It's for you to continue playing, and that's why I have to look to get some additional tokens, and that's why other players eventually will have to look to get some continual tokens. Because imagine you have to get 3 billion tokens to buy a lottery ticket because you're earning a whole bunch in these drips. Well, obviously then you're getting enough from the drips to maybe be getting enough to re-enter, but that's eventually what we're going to be working towards, having a lottery pool that's big enough that we're just able to get in without it, with the money that we're earning from the drips. So it's a pretty fun idea. I really think they did a good job with this, is giving us a way to actually use our tokens and give us an incentive to actually move the tokens. Even though there is a burn mechanism, we won't all just be holding them. So I hope you guys check this platform out. I'm going to wrap it up right there. I know this was a little bit longer than some people like, but maybe you stuck around till the end. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.